together again.
Yes, I got my co-host back with me, Michelle Bosch. Wonderful.
Yes, we are co-teaching today, and today is all about bringing the actual cash home. Today is all about cash confidence, because today is about selling those properties. It's about you not being stuck, with garbage property, with junk property. That's not what we're after. That's not what we specialize here in the Land Profit Generator community. And we want
you can go to other people for that.
Yeah, and we want you to be able to sell the properties that you do get under contract. We want you to be able to sell them quickly, fast, and with as minimal pain as possible, cash in the bank. So let's take a deep dive into doing exactly that. Now, everyone should have their workbook. Please open it up to session number 4. And for those that are joining in, if this is your very first time and you don't have that workbook, just put in workbook here inside of the chat, whether you're watching this on Facebook or here inside of Zoom, or if it's a replay, if you just joined the masterclass, just put in the word workbook, and one of our land experts, which every single one of you has one, will go ahead and reach out to you and get that over to you as well. You might want to check also your email, because it was emailed to you as well.
And if you don't know who your land expert is, make sure you put it into the comments right here. But before we get started with that, guys, good morning, everyone. Please put in the chat box, how on a level 1 to 10, 1 to 100, how excited are you? How excited are you about land flipping? How excited are you about getting deals done from home, doing what we talked about Michelle Brown doing, what she said last week she got a deal in her self-directed IRA for, do you know how much she put under contract with? She told you about it. Something like,
and I think, hold on.
She got it under contract for $85,000 and she's making net $75,000 by selling it from her self-directed IRA. She got on a contract. She actually
boost to that retirement.
She purchased it last week and she's selling it this week already. It's like in a matter of a week, $75,000. Anyone is excited about that? There we go. There's a bunch of hundreds, 100, 110s. Okay, you guys are excited. Great. With that said,
so with that said, guys, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into creating a 6-figure boom in your income in 2023. And if you haven't noticed out there, the world of business and real estate and everything in general is constantly changing. And in my opinion, in order for investors to really succeed in 2023, they're going to have to kind of like figure out where they fall in these 3 types of investors. Number 1, there's a category of investors that do not have the right vehicle, that do not have the right strategy, the right support, the right approach. And frankly, it's because they're looking at models and systems that are either too complex, too complicated, that were not designed for a beginning investor, or were not designed for scalability, for simplicity, and therefore for scalability. And those people, because they don't have the right strategy, it pains me to say, but they're going to fail in whatever they start doing right now in 2023. Then there's the second category of investors, and those are the guys that have done a deal here and there, but they really have not yet mastered the fundamentals of, selecting the right counties, the right markets, really how to evaluate properties, how to make offers that actually get accepted, how to talk to sellers, how to negotiate with buyers, how to close and ask closing questions, to really be that Jedi master that can handle any objection that might have from a buyer in order to get the actual money in the bank account. It's a series of things and events that need to happen, and it need to happen at the right time, at the right, for the right reasons. And if you haven't mastered that, you're also most likely, not going to see the transformation that you guys are all looking for in your finances, for your family, to not just pay the bills, but to actually get ahead financially. Yeah, you're not going to see that acceleration in your income. And then there's that minuscule top 1%, which is you guys that are really leaning in, that are here every single day, showing up, doing the work, posting on the homework post, contacting your land expert, making sure that any question that comes up, that that it's being addressed, that you don't go out of this masterclass with any uncertainty. You guys are basically those fact finders that are wanting to learn everything about everything and all things land flipping. And you guys are going to capture the bigger opportunities, the bigger breakthroughs, the bigger income, for you and your family, and are going to see basically your lives transform. We have seen it, and you have already met a few of the people here that have leaned into this and are now either master coaches or are doing six figures in land flipping. And it didn't happen by osmosis. It happened because they lean into what we are teaching here. So super excited that you guys are part of that top 1%. And I want to say that, you know, Jack, myself, a lot of the people that you have already met and that you will continue meeting this week, especially this afternoon here inside of the Facebook group. These are people that basically understand that mastery is not a choice. It's a must, and are doing amazing things in the land space.
Right, because also, guys, want to make sure you guys know that today that we're actually going to have two sessions.
Yeah.
We have this session right now, and surprise, we're going to have a closed door session this afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, where we're going to go and basically do a very intimate Q&A with you guys, just answering any questions that you have until right now. So make sure you put that on your books right now already. And I think it's the same Zoom link that you can use for this afternoon. Make sure 4 p.m. Pacific also for that. So with that said, guys, let's grab your handy dandy workbook, as I like to say. I guess I watched too much children's TV when Sophia was young. But anyway, in some of these TV shows, they talked about the handy dandy something. Anyway, so with that said,
Blue's Clues, I think.
That's probably what it was. Yes. So anyway, it's 10 years ago. She's 15 now. She hasn't watched that show probably for many years, but it stuck with me. So with that said, guys, let's grab your workbook. If you don't have a workbook, again, the team just put it into the chat box here and Zoom, and also, guys, make sure you put it over on Facebook too, so you can download that workbook. Today, we're talking about the sales power levers to turbocharge your profits. Again, before we do that, just one 30-second quick summary. What are we talking about? Who here, for those of you, for whom this is the very first session that you watch either live or as a replay, what the heck are we talking about? We're talking about land and lot flipping. We're talking about real estate that is simpler than house flipping, that you can scale faster than house flipping, that has less moving pieces than house flipping, and that you make the same or better money than house flipping, and that you can do 100% virtual from the comfort of your home. Now, do I have your attention now, right? Yeah, so what it means, what we're focusing on and what we have perfected, Michelle and I have done over 4,500 land deals. What we have perfected is the art of finding the people that don't want their pieces of land anymore, in their lots anymore. We're focused on three kinds of properties. Either number one, infill lot, think in the city, 35 houses on a street, one empty lot that's ready to be built on. You flip that, like it's worth $100,000. You get it for $45,000. You sell it for $75,000 to a builder. They're tickled pink. They're getting a 25% discount. You make $30,000 in the process, and boom, move on. Great. Second kind of properties in the path of growth, meaning outside of larger cities, anywhere from a few miles to like 50, 60 miles, depending on the size of the city. That is attractive to a lot of buyers. And that actually goes already to what we're talking about here. You got to know your buyers in order to sell to them properly. So that is attractive to the people that want to live close to the city, but work from home now. They can do that now with the advent of, I think I just read a number, as of this week, still 45% of all American people who are working work from home. That is about 70 million Americans that work from home that now can live where they want to live. And not everyone wants to live in the city in a cookie cutter home or in a high rise or in a tiny apartment. People want 5 acres, want to be close to the city, but want to have land and want to have space around it. Well, guess what? They're buying that. Future retirees are realizing that they don't have the money from Social Security to live a dignified retirement in the city. Yeah, so now what they're doing is they're buying a piece of land outside, paying it off over 10 years. We talked about seller financing multiple times already. We might talk about it today one more time. And then they go and they pay that off over 10 years, put a mobile home on there, and now they have a dignified retirement. Third kind of property is the rural acreage recreational land, basically an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away, far enough, close enough that you can drive out there for the weekend. And that is attractive to those who just love the RVs, ATVs, dirt bikes, boating, perhaps there's a lake close by, hiking, dirt biking, all this kind of stuff. And those are affluent people with a lot of money. They have good jobs. They just love the outdoors, and they have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment that they haul out for the weekend. And guess what's missing? A piece of land that you can provide to them. Those are the three kind of properties we focus on. We figured out how to find the people that are sick and tired of paying property taxes, that have inherited it, that perhaps got it through divorce, that perhaps getting older and used it for 30 years, but no longer want to use it, no longer have a need for it, and how to get these properties for anywhere from 10 to 45 cents on the dollar. So with huge discounts. And then we turn around and we sell those properties without actually, we talked about our contract having 4 provisions. Our contract, like number one, you can never put an earnest money deposit down with our deals. We talked to Jonna yesterday. Jonna told us that she has never puts an earnest money deposit down. Number two, that you can market the property. The seller gives you permission to market the property while you have it under contract. Number three, you close the close of escrow as 6 months into the future. So you have plenty of time to market this property or go to title issues and so on. And number four, you can back out any time for any reason out of your contract, but the seller can't, you can. So it's a contract that you have no money down. You can back out anytime for a reason. You can market it, and you have half a year to market it. I mean, this is a dream come true for any kind of real estate investor. So this is the perfect business that we just laid out for you. On top of it, because it's land, there's no tenants, toilets, termites, there's no repairs. You don't have to see the land. You don't have to meet the seller. You don't have to meet the buyer. You can do everything from the comfort of your home. Heck, you can even do it from outside of the country. We have students that live in Mexico do deals, in Chile do deals, in Canada do deals, in Spain that do deals, in Germany that do deals, from anywhere in the world. Heck, one of our team members, her 13-year-old son just got her first deal under contract. So even teenagers are doing this, all the way to 80-plus-year-old the students of ours are doing this and making hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. So that's the quick summary of what we're doing here.
So
and then today,
it's people from all walks of life, all age groups, nurses, doctors, single moms, stay-at-home moms. I mean, engineers, dentists, doctors, lawyers.
You name it. Truck drivers.
It's a system that does not discriminate.
Exactly right.
You're all at the same playing field, right?
And that's what Natalia is asking. So I guess huge direct mailings to anyone who owns land. Yes, direct mail, no to huge. That's again, because there's so few people in this market compared to house flippers that literally our students get a deal for every, on average, once they're through that beginning test phase, they get a deal for every 800 to 1,000 letters sent. That's not huge. In a house flipping site, you need to send 12 to 15,000 mailers to get one house under contract. Here we saw talking about 800 to 1,000, which means this is 10x less effort, less mailers, less cost, less involvement to get deals than with houses. So it's a perfect business. But with that said, let's go into how to sell these properties, and let's talk about the 6 key power levers to selling these properties quickly. Well, the first one is
for me, I always like, whenever I start something, I like thinking about the exit in mind and reverse engineering towards that. So before I even start buying property, I'm already thinking, how am I going to sell it? So I'm always already planning or putting in place a pre-marketing plan. Yeah. For each and every property. If I know that, because we've been doing this for a little bit, we have certain counties that we already harvest, and I know, how I can get those properties to move fast. I have already inbuilt price drops, so that our team, if the property doesn't move within the first week, the next week, they drop the price, or we do, tweaks here and there in order to make sure that we're selling that. And it's basically going out of our inventory so that we can buy some more and continue selling some.
Exactly right. This is not a guessing game. This is like, the property's worth 40 grand. You have it on a contract for 10. You set the price at 30. And then if it doesn't sell, it goes down from there. And usually around the 50 to 55% of market value just pops and sells like crazy. But that doesn't mean you want to give up extra profit, because you might be in an area where at $30,000, you got 10 people fighting over it, and it ends up selling at 35. No reason to put it up for 20 if you can get 35 for it, right?
Absolutely.
So you want to always optimize it, but then have a plan in place. By the way, I see a question from Cindy. Where can you get the list for free, and what's the list is called? Cindy, make sure you watch the replays, because we did session 1 and 2, because that's where we covered this, right? Right now, we're going to go into the sell part, or connect with your land expert. They can also help you answer those questions, because our land experts, they actually do deals too, right? Jennifer, one of our land experts, her husband just did a deal yesterday. right? And there's 2 more coming in the next couple of weeks. David does like 50 or more deals a year, right? So there is Sarah does deals and so on. So our land experts do deals themselves. Like heck, half of our team does deals from the comfort of our home. Because again, if we're teaching this out there, if we're telling you guys to go change your life, of course, we're going to ask our employees, our team members also to do the same because, hey, we want to change lives, right? And sometimes that leads to them quitting their job because they're making more flipping land than they're making their job. But you know what? It becomes then a big celebration. Because how incoherent, how fake would it be, incongruent would it be if we go say, hey, you guys should be changing your life and do this, but to our employees, no, you can't do that. No, of course. We want to change your life. We want to put a dent in the universe. We want to create 10,000 millionaires. And our own team members are just as much encouraged to do land deals as you guys are, right? So with that said, the second one is, you want to have what's called a buyer's list. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow, guys. And we're also going to talk about that a little bit later in the second half of this session.
Yeah.
But a buyer's list. What is a buyer's list? Right? A buyer's list is a list of people that have contacted you. You put up the listing and they contact you and say like, hey, is this property still available? And then you engage them in a conversation. And through that conversation, you get their contact information. Now, that lot that they inquired about might not be the lot that they end up buying. But they just told you that they're looking for a lot. And they give you even a criteria if you engage them properly. So when that happens is you add them to a buyer's list with their contact information so that when the next deal comes along, you send out an email blast to that buyer's list or a text blast or so, because you have a relationship now with them, you can text them saying like, hey, we got a new deal here. Yeah. Would you like to take a look at it? Go take a look at it. Or if you do a price drop, you can also go back and say like, hey, perhaps the price wasn't right last time. How about now? And if you do this right over time, you can absolutely sell 30 to 40% of all your deals to your buyer's list without even creating a complex listing, or they're not complex anyway, but without creating a listing, without even putting it anywhere else. You just put it up on your website and you go send it out. And the website, then you get that from us when you work with us in one of our programs, right? Yeah. So the third, go ahead.
You know, it's not just sending an email to this list whenever you have a property for sale that is a great deal, but it's actually nurturing this relationship. It's perhaps educating them on, on what is a percolation test, for example, if they wanted to build, and put in a septic system, and just ongoing communication and nurturing of that relationship, not on a one-on-one basis, but in a one-to-many basis, through email or text.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's an extra kind of micro process that we talk about. The next part is optimizing the use of technology, optimizing the use of your CRM. Now, for those that work with us, we're going to give you a full-blown end-to-end CRM that has a built-in buying website, that has built a selling website where buyers can contact you, that has built a buyer's list inside, that has workflow in it, tax management involved in it, that has offer-making tools involved in it, comping tools involved in it. That's the comping tools involved in it, or actually built into it. That's the word I was looking for, built into it. That also has a connection to a data source. So for the asking, how do I get the data? Well, it's already built into the software. So you want to use that in the right way, because it literally can help facilitate 70% of what you do and automate a lot of what you do. Number 4 is the quality of your listing. Yeah. Now, the quality of your listing is probably one of the most important things that you can do, that you need to get right in order for your properties to sell. I talked about it yesterday. In yesterday's session, I said, if you put up a listing and you put it out there in multiple places, which we'll cover in just a second, where you put them out, then if you get no inquiries whatsoever, then probably your listing, choose my language, sucks. Your listing is just not done well. So therefore, that's an opportunity to work with one of our coaches and really get that listing honed in. Because the moment you got the listing right, you should be getting a constant stream of people inquiring about the property. Now, if you do get a constant stream of people inquiring about the property, then and it's not selling, then guess what? Your ability to communicate with those buyers is crappy. So we need to work on that. Guess what? We offer classes. We have sessions on that with our master coaches that do that. Number 3, what if you get a lot of traffic to the website? You see that it's being seen a lot to the listing, but nobody contacts you. And probably it's pricing that's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? That's pricing that's wrong, and so on. So there's very clear ways that when you do these listings, we can look at them and it can say, oh, probably this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong, and help you adjust those. Now, but the key thing is creating a proper listing requires that you actually think from the buyer's point of view. Now, and we follow a process that's called AIDA. We'll cover it in question 4 a little bit more, but let me quickly cover it right now. AIDA is an acronym that stands for, A stands for attention, I stands for interest, D stands for desire, and the last A stands for action. So you have to create the listing in a way that the very first thing they see catches their attention. And the first thing they see is either a picture or the headline. So you got to create a listing where the picture is like actually attractive.
Yeah.
Right? That's what most realtors do wrong. You go on Zillow right now and look at some land. What you most pieces of land you will see look like this. An ugly area picture from Google Maps or Google Earth, right? And a 2-liner description, and that's it. And then the realtors or the owners wondering why their properties are not selling. It's complete stupidity.
And sometimes even that that 2-sentence headline or whatever they have on there, it's not even attractive. We offer all our students inside of our program, the top 30 headlines that we have tested over the years that work, that will get you inquiries, that would get people actually calling you and asking about the property. And so it's so that you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to, go in and figure out, well, what is a sexy headline that is going to basically appeal, to the price objection, that is going to appeal to the spousal objection, that is going to appeal to, all the different objections that a buyer could possibly have for land. We have those already there for you.
Exactly right. So then you have a proper headline right there given to you, and right there, it doubles, triples the amount of leads that you get from that. How cool would they? Who would like to get their hands on that? Give me a heck yes, guys. Give me a heck yes, guys. Again, we have 200 people here. Make sure between the 2 sessions, I want to see 200 heck yeses, because that is one of the key things that you need. Now, the next thing is the picture, but then it's also the description. You can probably understand that you will need to describe a recreational 40-acre lot 2 hours away from the big city, close to lakes and hiking and biking and hunting, completely different than an infill lot in the city, right? They attract completely different buyers. So what you talk about the property needs to be completely different. And then basically that's attention, then it's interest, because you hit the things. Because keep in mind also, a retiree that's looking in the path of growth, what they're looking for? Are they looking for a perfect 2-acre piece with 17 trees on it? Or are they looking for a place that is close to a town, that is close to a grocery shop, close to a medical doctor, close to perhaps a couple of restaurants, perhaps close to a lake or entertainment, that has utilities on it, and that they're within 20, 30 minutes can be in town? Have I just talked about the property in itself? Not at all. The property just needs to meet some basic standards. So what people do is they describe the property in like 15 paragraphs when nobody cares about the property. What the future retiree cares about is that the amenities that he needs are around, and then the land just needs to meet the minimum criteria. So you're not selling the land, you're selling the dream of what the owner can do with the land. Yeah. Right? Keep that in mind, and that's how you get their interest. And we have a very clear formula for that we lay out there for our coaching students. They walk through that, and then after a little bit, they're masters of that, and their properties pop off, and they sell them very, very quickly. And if not, they book a call with their master coach, and they get it adjusted. Right? So those are some of the things that you do that, and then you have the desire, and you make it easy for them to purchase, and boom, these properties fall off the shelf. And then lastly, obviously, number 5, you do want to offer seller financing. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it Tuesday. We talked about it Monday. It's a key component to what we do, right? Seller financing opens up the market of potential buyers. If you have a $100,000 property and you want to sell it for $70,000 and you have it under contract for $35,000, so you're about to make a $35,000 profit, or you put it on the market, let's say for $80,000, there's not that many people who have $80,000 cash. Yeah. But there's a ton of people who can make a down payment on that property and then make monthly payments. Right. So therefore,
the cash you know, you can always do what we like to call here in the Land Profit Generator world, you know, triple closes, where you bring to the closing table even the note buyer, basically the person that is going to buy the note or the mortgage on that land that, you know, that you would have carried in order to cash you out. Or perhaps you don't want to be cashed out, but at some point in the future, you know, for you, it's more important to get cashed out because you are having some financial difficulty or whatever, you know, and you can always sell the note, you know, but it does open the pool of buyers significantly. And therefore, it means that you're going to be able to sell and move that property much quicker. Yeah.
Exactly right. So the concept of triple close is a little bit more complex, but it's really creative financing. It's usually our students do that a little bit further into it. Or if you cap right at the beginning of a situation like that, your coach can walk you through it exactly. But essentially what you do is you buy the property, you sell the property and create a note, and you sell the note all the same day using none of your own money. In one of our weekend sessions, I'm probably going to bring my whiteboard out and probably lay that out in detail exactly how it works. But for now, you need to understand that even with seller financing deals, you can cash out of them without using any of your own money. How cool is that? Anyone is excited about that? Make sure you keep paying attention. And then number 6,
tracking what matters, which is so incredibly important so that you are basically spending your money and your time in the right areas, in the areas that are giving you the highest, not just you know, response rates or acceptance rates, but are actually giving you the highest profits, you know. And in order to do that, you need to track, you know, you need to track what you're putting out there. And, you know, in terms of mailings, in terms of contracts, and looking and having some reflection time to look at, okay, you know, in this area, I'm able to, you know, perhaps get higher response rate, but I'm not able to get, you know, big profits. So that's not an area that I should continue working on. And we're going to discuss that tomorrow in our panel with our master coaches. We're going to basically walk you through exactly the key metrics, key performance indicators, KPIs in the land space that you need to be looking at so that, like I said, you're doing the right things for the right reasons at the right time. Yeah?
Exactly right. So with that said, let's move on to question number 2. How will you market properties? Guys, it gets even simpler. Here's the thing. When we started out, we did big land auctions where we had to spend a lot of money and get people into a room and sell those properties. But then over time, we realized that there's a much better way, a much simpler way. You can simply use the internet to sell those properties. Now, when I say the internet, I mean websites like, for example, online free websites. What are some of those websites? Well, some of these websites are Zillow, right? Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, right? And land.com. Well, some of them are, land.com is not free, but Zillow, Craigslist, even eBay for that matter, costs also a couple of bucks to sell it there. But again, Facebook and so on, you can sell properties through there. Facebook Marketplace is a huge place to sell properties. Facebook Group is a huge place to sell properties, and Zillow are probably our top 3. So again, you have zero costs putting these properties out there. You create the beautiful listing, you put it out there, and then people contact you and say, is this property still available? At which point you then don't just respond with yes, but you respond with a more engaging kind of thing that we'll train you on, and then we go from there. Secondly, buyers lists, right? They're actually interrelated, because when you put the advertising out there, people are going to contact you. And when they contact you, you need to be smart enough to then engage them to get their contact information so that when the next deal or a price drop or so on comes in, or you do a special, then you can go out and you can sell, you can promote those, you can contact them again and you can bring them back, right? That's the key thing. And then ultimately also your own website. Again, if you join us and in one of our programs, then we actually give you that software. And with the software, there's a buying and a selling website. You will never have to set up your own website in a complicated way or anything like that. And then lastly, there's one extra way, and that we're also going to cover that tomorrow in detail, and that is selling to the neighbor, something that nobody even thinks about. Think about there's an area, let's say there's 100 lots. You buy one of them. The other 99 lots are owned by other people. And guess what? Some of these people love their land and they want to buy more. Perhaps they want to buy one for their son. Perhaps they want to buy one for their daughter, for their kids, perhaps their buddy says, man, I love where you guys own the land. If you ever hear about another piece of land coming up on the market, let me know because I would love to buy something there too. Guess what? You send a letter to the neighbor saying like, hey, I have this property for sale, and they jump on it. Literally, our coaches and us, we sell about a good third of our lots, third of the lots can be sold to the neighbors. And now think about this.
That's exactly what happened. We went ahead and, put a property, I think it was like 2.5 acres here in Navajo County, in the Mountain Lake area. And we were super excited. And that was the day, the time, because it was our very first property where we actually wanted to go out there and see the parcel. And I brought my, wooden sticks with my orange paint and my for sale sign and my, black Sharpie to put the for sale sign. And Jack was basically getting ready to, put in the stick, so that we could hang our for sale by owner sign. When Mr. and Mrs. Corona, I still remember their name, came out and said, "Are you guys the owners of that, of this lot? We have been trying to contact the owner and we have not been able to, been successful." And
Well, they didn't know how.
yeah, they didn't know how. And we would love to buy it. We've been wanting this lot forever. So if you guys are open to it, we would love to buy it right away, and you won't even need to put up the for sale by owner sign. And that's exactly what happened. They, we put that property under contract for $400, and they basically bought it from us for $4,000, even though that property was closer in value to $8,000. But Jack and I had zero negotiation skills.
Just a quick wholesale deal. That was the first deal.
And we were thrilled that we were making our $400 over many times over. And so we said yes. We had an amazing meal because they had an outdoors kitchen there. I still remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how we stumbled into selling the properties to our neighbors. Yeah, to the neighbors of the lots, not just adjacent, but even neighbors around the general area. Yeah,
exactly right.
So yeah, so let's keep moving.
Yeah, so that's it. Those are the ways, and we'll talk about that tomorrow more. So those are the ways that we like to sell these properties. Now, with that said, I also covered already part of 4 and 5, so we'll cruise to that in a second. But right now, let's talk about the 3 keys of scaling, collapsing time, and 10xing the results of your business. Really, who wants to not just have a deal, but who wants to do this as a business where you make hundreds of thousands of dollars? Give me a heck yes right now. Put in the chat box. Who wants to do more than one deal? Put in a heck yes if you want to do more than one deal, or put in the word me right there. I want to ideally see 200 people, because again, this is the Land Profit Masterclass. We set our sights higher. We want you to have a business that is scalable. We want you, and the answer to question number 3 is, in order to do that, you got to have a superior strategy. A strategy that we just showed, the strategy, and you have found a strategy that you can do from home without ever having to see the property, without having to touch the property, without having to meet the sellers or the buyers, without having to fix and flip anything, without having to even use your own money, by being able to back out of the contracts. I mean, everything, it's the perfect business. Number 2, you need the superior approach. That means you need the superior accountability. You need to have implementation and so on, and you need to have a superior team around you. And with that said, I want to introduce to you what we call our Land Profit coaching program. So we do have something that we would like to offer you to you guys, and that is basically a 1 year. Invite you to join us. For those who want to take this serious, who wants to take this business seriously, give me another heck yes here. And here's the thing, the Land Profit Coaching Program. Well, let me ask you, who's already knows that you want to get help to fix this, to figure out this business and to scale this business? If it is, then put in the words, "I'm in" right here. Put in the words "I'm in" on here, and also put in the words "I'm in" on Facebook right now. But I want to quickly introduce you to the program here. And what the program contains is the following. It's a 12 months, introducing you to the 12 months Land Profit Masters Coaching Program. It's a live one-on-one coaching program with our master coaches. You already met 2 of them. You're going to meet another 4 or 5 tomorrow. You met Mike Smyer, you met John Cohen. You'll meet many more over the next few days also. And then, so it's one-on-one coaching student. You get a bunch of one-on-one sessions with your coaching student. So if you have a listing that doesn't work properly, then guess what? You book a call and they will fix it right there. And you screen share, Zoom-based, Zoom-style sessions that you can literally see their screen, they can see your screen, and they can walk you through directly. Number 2, on top of it, we have multiple weekly trainings in addition and in a group environment. Also co-working sessions, open office hours, Q&A sessions, and things like that. So What that really means is that almost every day of the week, you have access. You can plug into the support system. You can ask your question. You don't have to ever wait like days and days until somebody answers your question. You have a question, you plug into the session, you get your question answered. On top of it, we give you actually even 2 jumpstart sessions with your master coach that we want you to take in the first 30 days. So you get right away into the groove.
And selection and market selection. This is what you want to use those 2 jumpstart calls for, because like Jack has explained during the course of this week, this is what basically gets the ball rolling.
Exactly.
You know, and you basically go out there and try to do this on your own and pick the wrong counties. You know, it's not going to work. There's a whole sequence of things that need to work in order for this to be like, you know, a smooth ride.
Exactly right. So with that said, by the way, is also what I want you to do is book a call at landcoaching.com to start talking to our team. So those who yesterday said skip the line, already many of you have booked a call. Make sure you're first in line because there's a bunch of bonuses that are coming too. But if you're not, make sure you book the call, and then also keep putting the words "I'm in" there so that we can reach out to you too. So with that said, what's also included, we actually get you started in a 6-week quick start intensive program to get your business set up, to get your county selected, to get your letters out, to get your offers out. So really, it's like a nuts and bolts implementation session over the first 6 weeks. You go through the entire program so that you already have all these tools in your belt as you then go out and do more and more deals. Number 5, you get, and we actually have full-time accountability partners. Full-time team members that are on salary, whose role and whose mission in life is to make sure that you get what you need. Now, they will reach out to you on a regular basis and see, like, how are you doing? Do you need anything? Are you struggling with something? Yeah. What's going on? And then so you let them know what you're struggling with, if you're struggling with anything, what you need, what questions you have, and they'll go put you together with the resources in our system to make sure that no question stays unanswered. No hurdle gets, it becomes so big that it can't be overcome. Literally, we have designed a process where we've taken a year and we have said, where is there potential hurdles of the success of our students and how can we overcome those hurdles? And we put this entire thing together. As a result,
it's basically a series of human interventions, because success is not a natural thing. You know, for most of us, when we encounter an obstacle, the very first thing that we like to do is scratch the goal that we have set ourselves up for and start a new goal. So this is for you to stay committed, to help you stay committed and focused. That's why we offer this level of accountability and human intervention during the course of the 12 months.
Exactly right. So then on top of it, you get a 2-day software training. You get our software, Investment Dominator, for 12 months. Plus, on top of it, we train you for 2 full days, actually 2.5 full days. Then on top of it, you get our master processes. We have an entire folder with processes in there. And then on top of it, you get all our attorney reviewed advanced contracts, letters, process documents, and brand new for the first 10 people only. We, on top of it, give you your first 2,500 leads. We have never done that before. So the first 10 people that come aboard also get the 10,000 leads. Also, 2,500 leads. Also, right now, if you pay in full, you get a full $5,000 off if you pay in full. But this is, again, only for those who commit today. If you commit to coaching today by booking a call and talking to our team and getting in, and their spots are filling up very, very quickly. So make sure you book that call right now. Go to landcoaching.com and book the call. You can get up to $5,000 off. And also for the first 3 people who enroll, 3 people come aboard, you get an extra 3 one-on-ones with one of our master coaches on there. Now, on top of it, there's bonuses. Again, and that is do you have a blind offer bonus? So basically a done-for-you blind offer bonus that is available for the first, I think, 15 people. That what we're going to do is we only have 25 spots available. And that is not a gimmick. That is not a fake kind of thing.
We're a boutique, coaching company. We're the best in our space. Every single one of our coaches has been like you at one point and has done extraordinary, exhibited extraordinary values and also results in how they have conducted, their own land flipping businesses. And we have invited them back to come and coach with us, but they're full-time land flippers. So we can't just accept anyone, that wants to coach with us. We have to be incredibly selective. Yeah. So if you want to really not just talk about cash confidence, but actually live it, and lean into coaching. That's what basically the people that are having those incredible results have done. And so go ahead.
Exactly right. So again, and then on top of it, there's mega bonuses for the first 15 that come on board. We're going to do we're going to blow it out of the roof here, blow the roof off by basically, we're going to actually give you 200 extra leads. And we actually selected those leads in markets that we know deals are happening and that we know that markets, even that we do deals, where our coaches do deals. And we're going to give you brand new leads. And we're also going to already have figured out what these properties are worth, what these properties should sell for, what these properties you should be able to get them at. And then we're going to help you with a blind offer strategy. Now, our typical strategy is such that we send a letter, we ask them to contact you back, and then we make an offer. But in certain areas that you already know, which we know already, you can go straight up with what's called a blind offer, and your first contact is an offer right away. Well, when we do that, guess what? You have the opportunity to potentially get deals right there a week after joining coaching. You could potentially already have your first deal. How cool is that? Now we have students that have done that made like 20 grand just from that thing right there on their own. How cool with that? Who would like to have that? Put in the words I'm in and book a call. Okay? Let me see. Who wants that? That alone is worth a fortune right there. Yeah. On top of it, we're going to also set up that email follow-up campaign for your land buyers on it. Now, everyone else gets taught how to do that, but for the first 15, our copywriter and David, our land expert, are going to set this up with you and for you. Now, the third thing is on top of it, we have 3 deep dive bonuses. We're going to do a deep dive extra session for how to maximizing seller and buyer conversations. We talked about, right? If you have a lot of requests coming in, but nobody buys it, then you don't know how to talk to people. Like, for example, I remember one of our coaching students, Carolina Lau, she had a bunch of deals on her contract. She put them out up for sale, and she got a lot of inquiries, but she could never sell those properties. So we finally looked at it. She reached out to us. It's like, what's going on? So we had a special session, one or two special sessions with one of our communication experts, sales experts in our group, with Aaron Williams in this case, who's going to host the session. And guess what? He just taught her what to say to the sellers, to what thing. As a matter of fact, we put together a spreadsheet of like, if they say this, you answer that. If they say this, you answer that. And that is now in the coaching program. And literally within 2 weeks later, she made $19,000. Yeah. A few weeks later, she made $17,000. So a few weeks later, she made another, whatever, $10,000, $20,000. That's the difference. Sometimes you get stuck in stuff that you now start saying, oh man, this doesn't work. No, it works. You just need to have the right tweak to make you work with the program. And sometimes it's a skill and sometimes those things. Yeah. And another deep dive bonus is like tracking what matters. We'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow, but then you get an extra 1 hour session that really gives you an MBA in how to run your business by the numbers. Then on top of it, a paid ad sales booster call with land expert David Van, who flips also 50 properties a year. And then on top of it, you get 2 tickets to our live event coming up in Tampa, Florida in September of this year, later in this year. So again, all of this together has a tremendous, tremendous value. Make sure you book your call right now at landcoaching.com. And then also, if you think you can't afford coaching or whatever it is, still book a call, because we have different levels of program that you can talk to our team about. We have entry-level program all the way to the full-blown 12-month coaching. Now, the full-blown 12-month coaching obviously is the best program, but all our programs lead to results, because otherwise we wouldn't offer them. So with that said, guys, let's move on to the next session. As a matter of fact, let me see who is in on this. Who would like to inquire about this? Who would like to figure out how this works? Put the words "I'm in" one more time, and because by now we spent 4 days together. Put in the words. I see Liz, I see Sherry, I see Mark, I see Tiffany, I see Greg, Danette, I see Petra, Alyssa. Wonderful, guys. I'll make sure you book that call, because again, it's a 2-way street. Explore the opportunities, and if it's not coaching, it's perhaps one of our other programs. With that said, I do think we have a couple of guests here too.
We have a couple of guests that that they have understood that in order to have the levels of success that they want and that their family deserves, they have understood that that it requires 2 to tango. So these people are super committed, have been super committed, and as a result are seeing incredible I would like to say cash injections in their bank account. Yeah. And so I think the very first ones that we have are Jessica and Timothy. Are you here, guys?
There you go.
Yes.
Hey, Jack,
Hello.
Michelle, how you guys doing?
Good,
So
good.
to have you here. Thank you so much for spending your time here. And just so that everyone knows, Tim and Jess, we're not paying them. They
No.
just out of the kindness of their heart, they want to come and basically just share with you what their experience has been and where they're at and what their dreams are and how much closer they are to those dreams. And
So tell us a little bit about you with that said.
For sure, for sure. Well, again, just want to say thank you, Jack and Michelle, for having us on, and thanks for everybody allowing us to share our story real fast. I'll kind of start real fast and I'll kick it over to Jess. We've been in real estate for 10 years, mostly just single family, kind of own a place, move, rent, that type of thing, but always been interested in different areas of real estate. And I've actually came across Jack and Michelle many, many years ago. And I was like, hey, this is kind of an interesting little thing, because I always listen to different podcasts on real estate investing. And we ended up having our third child just right in the heart of COVID. And I was very fortunate to have five weeks off of paternity leave. And it was great. We got to spend the time together and we're like, man, this should be really kind of fun to be able to do, more often, And so we were kind of learning about Jack and Michelle's stuff and we decided to make the commitment there. And we started running pretty hard. And that was in 2021. That was in like February, March, 2021. So just under 2 years ago. And we got into the program and very quickly, we're like, this is a great program, but we have a lot of questions. And we're like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And so that's when we're like, okay, we probably need to kick over and do some coaching. But that's kind of how we got started. Jasmine, thoughts?
That's right. And now since then, you guys have done, I think, 17 deals, right? And you have another, how much? 28 under contract? Is that right?
Yes.
Now, if we add them all up together, what profit are we talking about?
I think over the course of 2 years, we have had a profit of around 100,000, which we've been happy with. We still, we're still growing. We have a lot of big deals coming in. So I do think that's going to exponentially grow this year.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot. We've come a long way. We still have some learning to do, but we really enjoy it. And we feel happy with the success we've had so far.
Great. So I want to think, I got a little cheat sheet here that you guys told us about that we basically says that the potential profit from those 28 lots that you have under contract is how much?
About 400,000. And that's a very low estimate.
$400,000, guys. That's what we're talking about. So
the growth is definitely exponential.
The growth is exponential, right? Anyone okay with doing 100 grand in your first, let's say, a year and a half? You're doing land flips, guys. Give me a heck yes, right? But then how about
this as a side hustle? Do you guys have full-time jobs?
So when we started out, I was part-time. I went to school to become a speech therapist. And so I was doing like virtual therapy. And so I was doing that alongside with this at first for probably about 6 months. And then
along with a newborn.
Yeah, with a newborn. And then I decided to go full-time.
Yeah. So
beautiful. And now, as a result, now you got 28 deals lined up, $400,000. That's a total $500,000 profit in probably a little bit over 2 years.
Yes, sir.
I think most people could probably be okay with that, right? Anyone okay with 500 grand in the next year and a half or 2 years? I would think so, right? Okay. So now, with that said, tell us, what are some of the things that you guys learned in the process?
Yeah, so I think I sent this sheet on you. So I'm going to say a lot of things that people watching might not understand, but we learned in insane amounts. When Jessica says that we did so much, a lot of it's just confidence, but we've done double closes. We with transactional funding, typically, we've done self closes. We've done note creation. We've done talking about JV deals. We've talked about how to market. I have a kind of background in online marketing as well, but it's kind of nice to be able to turn around and put this to fruition and do these types of things. Biggest thing is expanding our market. And just for anybody watching this, I know sometimes when you get into real estate or looking at these things, they're like, wow, I don't have the money. I don't know how I'm gonna find the money for a deal, all these types of things. But the beautiful thing about real estate is that the deal finds the money. Okay. And just to the credit that we were talking before, is that when we're talking about, we're doing exponential growth, a lot of it's just the mindset shift, because at first, I always tell people this, the same amount of time and effort it takes to make $2,000 profit, it takes to make $20,000 profit or $100,000 profit. And recently, about 8 months ago, we had a massive shift to where we started going after big properties. And me and Jess always talk about this. When we very first started, we were like freaking out. We're like, oh my gosh, we have a deal. We're gonna be able to buy for $2,000. And we had to end up making like $8,000 on that deal. It's actually a good deal. But it's hilarious because all of a sudden, literally 7 months ago, this past summer, Jess is just sending off emails of $1.2 million offer, $1.5 million offer, and like doing these things left and right. And it's like, how do we go from $2,000 offers and contracts to $1.5 million offers? And it's just, it's the mindset shift, guys. And so that's what this place does. And it supports you to be able to do that. And it's absolutely epic and it's phenomenal. So
yeah, you basically come into our 12-month coaching program as probably a very successful professional already, or a beginner or whatever it is, that you're doing right now. And you walk out of there, 12 months later as a completely CEO, empowered, confident, feeling bulletproof and really knowing that you can rest in the strength of the skills that you have acquired, because you have pretty much, closed that gap of where you were to where you wanted to be, by who the person that you've become in those 12 months. And that is invaluable. We go through what we like to call, which I learned from my own mentor, the 4 C's. You committed to something, which was land flipping. You mustered the courage, because at the beginning, when you don't have that confidence, you feel a little wobbly, like your feet are not underneath your body, but by being able to rest in the strength of a person that has the experience, that is the best of the best at what they're doing, people at the top of their game, looking into your business, you're able to gain the capability. You actually do the work, and with that comes confidence. So basically, you go through those 4 C's of commitment, mustering the courage, gaining the capability to have the confidence. And there's no way you can get to the confidence without going through the first 3 C's.
Absolutely.
People want to get to the confident, to the cash confident part. But without the first 3, you gotta embrace what I like to call a little bit of like the shit sandwich in the middle, when you're doing something new, yeah. And we try to make that as quickly as possible, basically bring you through that process so that you're on the other end and you basically are maybe uncomfortable for a short period of time, where you're outside of your comfort zone, but you're gonna very quickly build up the skills and build up the confidence, so that you can go out there and do amazing things like you guys are doing right now in year 2.
Yeah, bottom line, there's a learning curve in everything you need to do, right? There's a learning curve. And our goal is to shorten that learning curve and make it as simple and as easy as possible for you to overcome those little, sometimes mindset
It's
or
mindset.
hurdles.
It's what Tim was talking about.
And teach you those things that you mentioned, because there's some skill parts that you need to learn and some mindset things that you need to learn. And that's where most people on their own fail, right? So again, whether it's coaching or another one of the program, you owe it to yourself to plug in and learn from those that have gone before, which you guys have successfully done. And therefore you now are mastery. You have the mind shift. You started with $2,000 deals, and now you're moving to the $100,000 deals, which explains why 28 deals make you $400,000. And probably there's another mind shift coming up after that.
There's
you literally like Joanna talked yesterday, she's making $1.7 million. And by the way, after the session yesterday, guys, she texted me that while we were in the session, the earnest money was deposited, and literally the deal is signed and the contract is firm for her to make $1.7 million on that land deal. Jonna started 4 years ago or 5 years ago as a university teacher, not having a single clue about real estate. And look at her now making $1.7 million things. So even if we take guys,
from a PhD in education to a PhD in making money.
So even if you guys are looking at that as how fast can I make my money back? Guys, think about it. You can make your money back fast. But think about it. What if you drop the time horizon of it and you just think about the skills that you're learning? Right here, Jessica and Tim, the skills that you're learning, for how long are those skills going to serve you?
Oh, and definitely. I mean, the coaching program, I don't think we would, like you guys were saying about confidence, we would not have the confidence if we didn't have the coaching program. We had 2 amazing coaches. Just having access to the coaching videos and trainings. I mean, the coaches that you guys have to mentor and guide us are just incredible. I mean, it is just invaluable. We
Yeah.
seriously would not be here without it.
Yeah.
All right.
And we hope that, just like they were once a coaching student and became a master coach, that you here watching us, can come and coach inside of the Land Profit Generator community as well. Maybe Tim and Jess will do that in the future as well.
We will. I promise you we will. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will. Last thing real fast on that, what Jessica said, guys, the biggest thing like collapsing timelines is that the coach is connection to other people. Like kind of you're alluding, like, I don't know, like for instance, if you're starting, I don't know, I'm going to get the money. And that's the biggest reason for us doing coaching is like, you literally pick up the phone, call your coach, one connection, boom, done that fast.
Right.
That's what's insanely profitable.
networking.
And the networking is
Yeah.
so invaluable. That's what we're
Yeah,
talking
because you have access to them and to their network.
Yeah. We got one of our coaching students is literally right now doing a deal where they're selling a property for $435,000 and their profit on the deal is, I think, $85,000. And they need transactional funding for $435,000. Guys, you know how to get for that. You know where the listeners here, you guys watching this, like 200 of you plus everyone watching this afterwards. Usually these sessions are being watched several thousand times. Do you know where to get $435,000 from?
Exactly.
Like that with a phone
Like
call?
that with 1 or 2 phone calls? We do. It's in
So
our
we-
network. It's in the coaching network. It's a couple of phone calls and the money is there. That's the power of coaching. It's not just the skills, it's the entire thing in there. So with that said, guys, thank you so much. Congratulations to your success.
So
I
excited.
can't
Thank you so
wait
much.
to welcome you in our group of millionaires and in our Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. You can get there.
And
So
thank you.
for sure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then-
it's our
We
goal.
usually do our inductions in our in-person events. So it would be wonderful to finally actually meet you and embrace you and have a heart-to-heart hug with you guys.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
would
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything you guys done, Jack and Michelle. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
thank you for trusting us and going full out and trusting in yourself, because really at the end of the day, what you guys are doing is you're betting on yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're basically saying like, finally, my time has come. Finally, this is it, right? If you feel like that, who feels like that? Give me a heck yes. If you feel like that, this is finally it. This is the universe, God, the world, whatever you want to call it, answering and guiding me and saying like, oh my God, I finally have been brought to something that I can understand, that I can
Yeah.
put my brain around, that I can do. I just need the proper guidance to do it, right? That's what we're doing here. That's what we're offering here. This is what this is all about. And Timothy and Jessica, they have believed in that. They have put it in there. We then come and we meet you halfway. Of course, you got to do halfway. You're not going to wake up wealthy tomorrow.
It takes
right?
two to tango.
It takes
for
two
sure.
to tango. But as long as you are willing to do that step, we're gonna do and drag you and pull you and make sure you get over that finish line and you do those deals. So that's as simple as it is. So with that said, guys, put in the words I'm in, and again, make sure you book that call. But we actually have a second guest here. And by the way, guys, we still need to
And
cover
that
the 3
website-
levers to create power listing, as well as the places. We have a couple of more things to cover. So today we go 5 or 10 minutes over, but that's okay because it's just important to cover these pieces.
Yeah, and that website is landcoaching.com. So
Yes.
that is for those of you who understand that, faith is important in especially when you're starting something new and you're much more faithful to going out there and exploring and being curious and being willing to really I would say not die with unfulfilled potential, because there is
Yeah.
such a thing as unfulfilled potential. And I know that you feel it in your heart of hearts that you're meant for more. So this is for those of you who are faithful to new stuff, who are faithful to basically new beginnings, much more faithful to that than to what's familiar to you, which has been the constant rut that you have been in right now or circling the drain. Let's stop that. Let's put a line in the sand. And let's start doing something new, let's have a new trajectory when it comes to finances for your life. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I see a couple of questions. People ask me like, why don't you say the price? What is the price? Well, guys, again, we have the Land Profit Masters coaching, but we also have other programs. So there's a different fit for everyone. Instead of just putting one price out there, let's just book a call. Someone is like, I want to know what it costs so I can know if I afford it. No, it's the other way around. You go talk to our team and see which of the program is the best fit for you.
Yeah.
And then you do what it takes to afford it. right? You saw Norman yesterday. He saw this was the right thing for him. He put it in place, and now he's on track to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. He already made say multiple six figures, and he's making like $15,000-$20,000 a month right now while being retired, while being over 70 years old, and he's he's paying off his house probably this year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys got to look at that as this. If we can show you a $1 million opportunity that you can implement, that you get shown every single step, every single assignment. And if anything goes wrong, you got an accountability partner, a master coach, an entire team behind you to make sure that you're being adjusted and guided, that basically nothing can go wrong as long as you do the next step, then you can make $1 million here.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Right?
Thinking out there, oh, but I don't have any background. I want to say, there's people that are less qualified than you that are living what you want to live because they've been willing to stretch. Yeah.
Right.
So let's stretch and meet us halfway.
And I love that Laura says, like, I'm ready to kill them all of in. If not this, then what? If not now, then when? It's time for a change. Plus, I can get my own property also. My dream come true. Hey, let's bring in the second guest, though.
Yes.
We have Tyson, or Sarah, ladies first. Sarah and Tyson. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Hi.
Last
doing
time,
awesome.
I know you were in your Porsche that came from Land Flipping Profits. And I think
Change the
today,
settings
you're
today.
perhaps.
The kids are at school, so I just got done teaching. I teach yoga on Thursdays, so I ran from teaching yoga, and we're just happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to just, share with everyone here today a little bit about your experience, your background. What are you excited about in your land flipping business? How much money you've made? Tell us all about it.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Michelle, that was a loaded question. I don't know if I can remember all of it. So, but I know, so Barbara sent a couple of questions. We did coaching in 2021. So like for a year and a half, we did initial 6 months. And I know the programs, right? Like they're always changing for the better and evolving, because that's the amazing thing
Always
about
making it better. Yeah.
It's a 12-month program
Absolutely.
now
So-
because we realized that people want this to be plugged in for a longer
Yep.
time, this partnership for a longer time. But go ahead,
Totally,
yes.
for sure. So yeah, so we did initial 6 months, and then at the time there was like kind of an alumni program that was another 12 months. So in that time, we shared with Barbara on our email that we've made $240,000 plus since then.
Woohoo.
And we're on our way to $1 million, baby. So anyway, it's awesome. So I mean, it's just like, I know we shared on the last call that we were on. For me, like for years, we dreamt about bringing Tyson out of his corporate job. And we did a lot of things and we made money, but Land Profit Generator has been our profit generator. I mean, it has allowed us to work together full time and be with our family and just create the time freedom and the financial freedom to live the dream that we've wanted. And we're all entitled to that. We really, truly are. I believe that we are all meant to live a big life.
Right.
And it takes taking, like what you said, the leap and faith and realizing that we are worthy, and why not us? So
Why not you? Why not now? There's
Yep.
there's always this thing that I read somewhere that, time changes people, but people can also change times, and you can be the person that finally changes times for you and your family and
Yeah.
experience something completely brand new, unprecedented, that may not have been happening within your family tree. And wouldn't it be cool if, sometime, maybe your kids or your grandkids can go back and look and say, it was, my grandma Sarah and my grandpa Tyson, the ones that made that decision and that changed, our trajectory forever. At least that's how I see it.
Totally.
When I think about Sophia, who's our 15-year-old daughter, and potential grandkids in the future.
I mean, Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
think about it, even in our own family. Like, if you think of that, my dad, my grandfather was basically a farmer in a way. Right? My grandfather was a farmer, and my dad was the first one that actually went to college and became a teacher, right? But on my mom's side, again, my mom didn't do more than just less minimum high school kind of thing, and there's my brother and I were the first ones in our family to go to college. But here's the thing: we're the first entrepreneurs in our family. So we're the first ones. Like my grandfather went to no school, almost like he learned kind of like in a little village school to learn to read and write. Right. My dad had to go travel 20 miles to even be able to get his high school diploma because the school wasn't even there in town. Right. And then all of a sudden, our daughter, because we figured out land flipping, is now going to the best freaking high school in the state of Arizona. Right. They're going to in a private school. She has access to potentially the best universities in the entire world to go there. She is learning entrepreneurship. She's thinking like a business owner. I mean, I'm not worried about our daughter's financial well-being, even if she inherits nothing from us, right? Because wealth is actually not being passed on by money. Wealth is being passed on through proper education to your kids. So if you become the mindset, right? That's what I mean by that. Yeah. If you become, you need to become the change that the world has been waiting for. You need to become that person that changes the trajectory of your family's life, so that all those behind you can actually go and experience life in a completely different way. What the world's been feeding you is that brainwashing kind of thing of like, go get a good education, go get a good job, work until you're 60, work 50 hours a week, get 2 weeks vacation, and then enjoy life when you're old. No, that's not how life's supposed to work. I mean, that's how it works for most people, but that's not how it has to work. It can work such that in a year or 2 years from now, you are done financially. You got to look at you guys. 2021 made $250,000 in basically a year and a half, close to 2 years right now. And right now, how does 2023 look for you guys? What are you on track of to make in 2023, if I may ask that?
You want to share?
Go ahead.
So last time we talked, right? I'm the implementer in our partnership. But we are, so last time we were on a call, we got a little delayed with one of our closings, but I mean, here we are, first quarter. We have earnest money. We had a buyer back out of our biggest deal yet to date, but found one within another week. And now we're back on track to close. And that one deal is 80% of what we made last year, which was over 6 figures. So
wow. There we go.
In just Q1 of 2023. That is
Just
fantastic.
and we've already had 2, 3, let's see, 4. We've had 2 or 3. January is a little bit of, but it's okay, right? That's what's so cool. Some months we have like 4 to 5 closings. Some months we may have 2. You have to remember that I think one thing in this business is there's this surrendering to a divine timeline. And I have learned that very well in this business. No. But it's so beautiful because the timing is amazing. And now, we have a saying that we have a beautiful business in a beautiful way, and we give beautiful service for beautiful pay. And
Wonderful.
I wish I could take it. It's from a book. But
Basically, you're doing it. You're already at when the deal closes, which is going to be soon.
Yeah.
You're already at 6 figures, or potentially
Yep.
multiple 6 figures for 2022, just in 2023, just in Q1. So, guys, that's what we're talking about here. So with that trajectory, they might make $400,000 or $500,000 this year, or something like that, and that's what we want for you guys too. That's what we want for you guys too.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm excited that Tyson is now home, because I remember you mentioning, health insurance is not a reason for staying in corporate America.
No, it's not.
And I 100% agree with that.
Right. All right. So with that said, guys, thank you very much. What would you tell somebody that's like right now is thinking about it as like, should I do coaching? Should I not do coaching? What would you tell? What do you tell somebody that's listening right here?
I guess it's my turn. So, and I think I know just what to, I've thought about this, but I know last time we were in a call, I mentioned the speed of information, right? But I think in addition to that is, what are your ABC items that you have to do every day? And it's not the same thing every day, but Sarah mentioned the surrendering to the process, right? Like there's a process, and if you're following that process and getting your top 3 items done every day, everything else just kind of falls into place. And pre-coaching, you're just kind of running around doing what you think is best, right? But after talking to a coach, like, all right, what's the priority Monday? What's the priority Tuesday? And so on. Like this is the most important thing that I have to get done today to keep those deals flowing. And that's been a big transition for us. But what, in addition to that, talk about time, it's like, okay, I can get those top 3 things done in 2 to 4 hours today, and I can go pick my kids up from school, and we can get them out
Go
from school
skiing.
early, go skiing. And it's
Yeah.
like,
And exactly right. And you guys have, and that's one of the things I love about you guys. You guys are striking that perfect balance. It's not all about the business. It's not all about creating $1 million. You guys, last time we talked to you guys were on the way or coming back from skiing. You're wearing your skiing gear, and now you're just taking the kids out. It's winter, you're going skiing, and summer it's go hiking. So you guys enjoying life, and that's what we want for everyone, right? It's not all about creating a business, but what if you can, within couple of 4 hours a day, or do it such that 3 days a week you work on that, and then 4 days a week you go hiking, biking, skiing, and enjoying life, or you take 6 weeks off like Jonna, or 6 months off like Jonna, and then travel with their business around, and still makes $500,000 a year. You can structure, this is the message here, is you can structure this business whichever way you want it, because it's portable. You can take it with you. You never have to go like, oh my God, I got to meet with the seller like at 5:15 p.m. I got to be off the mountain by that time. No, it adjusts to your life. And there's very, very few businesses in the world that can do that. So with that said, thank you very much, guys, for being here with us. Love you guys. And I'm excited.
The more you make, the more freedom of time you have, right?
Right, that's a Tyson statement, right? This I remember you saying that this is the only business I've ever found where the more money we make, the more free time we have, and that's what I wanted to say about that. That's a perfect summarized by you there. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Right.
Good to see
So
you.
that's it, guys. We still have a couple of things to cover.
Yes.
And that is question number 4. What are the 3 levers to create power listings and have buyers begging to buy your property? And we already covered it in question 1, so I'm going to fly through it right now. Question number 1 is you got to know and understand your buyer psychology.
Yeah.
I talked about it. An infill buyer is a builder. A builder runs a mathematical mind. There's like, if I can get it for $75,000 and put X much into the house, and then X amount in financing costs and X amount in sale price, I'm making $100,000. I'm in. If he can't make the money work, the math work, he's not going to buy. But you can reverse engineer that. You can know, based on what houses are worth in the area, what you have to buy this property, what you have to sell this property for in order to sell it. And that's part of what we teach, right, in the coaching program. But also the recreational buyer looking for something completely different. So if you know what they're looking for, you can put the ad together in the proper way that actually answers those questions and checks the boxes. And once every buyer has a buyer box. Every buyer is looking for something specific. Somebody might be looking for a 20-acre parcel close to a lake on a dirt road with lots of privacy, with some trees and a buildable site on it, but in nature where there's perhaps also good hunting. Well, guess what? If your ad covers that it's 20 acres, that it's in hunting area, that it's close to a lake, there you go, check, 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 check. This is perfect. And now you make it easy for them to buy it. Second thing, the AIDA concept actually puts that into a structure, into a scientific structure that you can just follow step by step: attention, interest, desire, action, right? And then number 3, if you know how to talk to your buyers and build rapport with them, right, then you don't need 100 people inquiring about the property for one to buy it. You need 3 people inquiring about the property for one to buy them. Because when you can, again, check their boxes and talk to them in a proper way, it's essentially sales skills, then you sell those properties very, very quickly. We got sessions in the program for all of these different pieces, right? We have remember, you're in the business, in every entrepreneur is in the business of solving problems.
Mm-hmm.
A buyer has a problem that he has a big RV sitting in the garage or in the driveway, and he has no place to put it on the weekend. He has to be in an RV park. You're solving the problem by checking the boxes. A future retiree has a problem that once he retires, he can't live in the city because rents are $1,800 and Social Security is only $1,500. Right? You're solving this problem by bringing to him an affordable lot that he can pay off over the next 10 years and then put a mobile home on there, right? The builder has a problem that he has a crew and no land to build on. You're solving that problem. So if you think from that point of view, you can sell those properties very, very quickly. And we have lots of sessions about that kind of piece. And then the next part is that the three places where you can post your listings. That's Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, and then of course also Zillow, like land.com, landwatch.com, landsofamerica.com. There's lots and lots and lots of places that you can put those properties up there. So, and what you want to do is you want to put them on all of them because you want to give your lots the maximum exposure. And then you learn those micro processes of how to talk to the buyers, how to get the listing right. And those kind of little things that we'll teach you over the course of this program will make sure that you create mastery, that your properties go up and they sell. They go up and they sell. You put them up and they sell, right? And that's how you make money quickly, right? That's the power. So, so wonderful. Yes, thank you, Laura. So with that said, guys, also, I forgot to say, we had today, we giving away a $7,500 scholarship towards partial scholarship towards any one of our programs. So $7,500 worth of our programs, you can apply that to coaching, towards coaching. You can apply that towards any of our programs is going to give away.
Actually, one of our
yes, important thing.
You want to upgrade your results by upgrading to coaching. We'll give you a credit. But
exactly
anyways,
right. So, yeah.
so
when it's a good point. So for all of those of you guys, if you already have one of our programs, any level, we give you a credit for what you already paid for the program cost towards upgrading. So even if you're already in one of our programs and you want to now finally do coaching, do it now, book a call, we can happily upgrade you. But the winner of the $7,500 scholarships towards any of our program is, drum roll, Jacqueline Harness Ackersland. That's her name. Jackie Harness, Jacqueline Harness Ackersland is the name of the person. So Jacqueline, congratulations, you win the $7,500. That's me, she says. Yes, that's me. Thank you so much. So make sure, Jacqueline, you also book a call at landcoaching.com so the team can figure out with you what program to apply that towards. All right. So that's it, guys. We do have one more part about it. And remember, we're coming back today for a second time. Then also this afternoon, starting this afternoon, you'll see additional sessions coming up.
Bonus
sessions.
The Facebook group.
Inside of the Facebook group where we interview students that have already done deals. So you have more and more opportunity to learn, to see how other people's experiences are. And by the way, if you're in the Facebook group, click on their name and send them a direct message. Right? We're not hiding anything here. This simply works. Talk to our students about it. They can confirm it works because we have the best program the world has seen about land flipping, and you're the right place. We lead with care. We lead with concern. We lead with customer care. We lead with 360.
Very different, yeah.
360 degree support. And again, so what we want to do is the last thing is reverse engineer the first, basically your goal. And then also we still have homework today. But before we go into that, just very, very quickly again, our program that we recommend you go for, again, other programs also work and also give you results, but this program is a 12-month immersion coaching program where you come in as one person, you come out as a master of land flipping, understanding all the things, the 2.0 version of you, understanding all the things that Jessica and Timothy talked about. They talked about that they learned how to do self-closes. They learned how to do double closings. They learned how to use transactional funding. They learned how to structure deals. They learned how to structure notes. They learned how to make JVs happening. They learned how to negotiate with sellers and buyers. It's you walk out of there with stuff and knowledge that you have no idea how it will change your life, right?
And again, ongoing for your land business or for whatever you decide to do in your life, These are skills that you're going to learn that are going to allow you to turn, frankly speaking here, shitty situations into big money
Yeah.
in your bank account.
When the deal
by
falls
acquiring these
apart,
skills.
when the deal falls apart, which sometimes happens, how are you going to put it back together? Call your master coach, have a quick session. They'll tell you exactly how to put it back together. Right there, boom, $30,000 more in your bank account. The deal, all of a sudden, the deal turns out to not be as good as you thought. How do you do it? You renegotiate with the seller. How to do that? Call your master coach. Tells you exactly how to do it. You've dropped the price from the master from $40,000 to $20,000. You just opened up $20,000 more in investing.
In
The
extra
key
profits.
in extra profits. The key is the thing is it's not the question of how much is coaching. The question is, how much are you going to leave on the table if you don't do coaching? The question is, how many deals are you going to lose by not knowing what you learn in coaching? Like in coaching, we don't just collapse time for you. We do that. We also teach you exactly how to save deals, how to maximize deals, how to double your profits on deals. And as a result, your ROI is 100% there as long as you just go and do the things. In some cases, how long does it take? We have seen students doing full ROI in 60 days.
Yeah.
And not everyone does that because some people move a little slower, but we have people seeing a full ROI in 60, 90 days. So this is a possibility if you do what we ask you to do. So what's included in coaching? It's one-on-one coaching. It's group coaching sessions multiple times a week. It's 2 jumpstart sessions with your one-on-one coach. It's a 6-week quick start intensive program it's a nuts and bolts training that gets you started.
Yeah.
It's your accountability partner that checks in with you and makes sure that you don't fall off the bandwagon. You don't get stuck somewhere. And then also the two-day software workshop, the actual software, it's an end-to-end software with access to data, with access to making offers, with access to comms, with task management, with offer making help, with buyers lists, you name it, our processes, our documents, and on top of it, for the first time ever, the first 10 people that enroll in coaching also get an extra 2,500 leads. So we actually help you get started right away. Then there's the bonuses that we talked about, right? The bonuses, which are right now, you still get $5,000. You get $5,000 off. Right, you get the blind offer campaign done for you, which is a game changer because we literally send out 200 offers for you. Like, I don't know, whenever that's done next week or so already. Right? And then,
It's busy. So this is basically something to jumpstart and really give you a boost, with your first check coming in, possibly from this blind offer campaign.
right, and then we do a done for you email campaign. We have 3 deep dive sessions. One of them is about tracking what matters. One of them is about how to talk to buyers and sellers, which is crucially important. And one of them is how to use paid ads to really boost your sales on top of it. You get 2 tickets to the live event. All of that is included in the coaching. It's literally the most comprehensive program that exists in the real estate space. It's the program that will blow you away and it will make you into a master of real estate investing.
And
So with that said, who is again? One more time before we finish it up. Who is in? Put in the words "I'm in" if you want in on this program or even a variation of this program on different levels. Put in the words "I'm in." Still got 150 people here. Make sure. I would love.
Say I'm in or go to landcoaching.com. If you know that you want a team with you, that is rain or shine is going to be there, looking at your business, putting all their energy and effort, rain or shine, making sure that you succeed, that you basically overcome all obstacles. Because to be frank, the entrepreneurial journey, it's in a big part is a mindset game, and having that support of that human intervention will make the difference between you actually, getting out of the gates and doing the right things for the right reasons at the right time and seeing results very quickly. Or not at all, yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
So with that said, let's talk about the last part of the homework, which is reverse engineer. The last part of the session 4, which is let's reverse engineer your year and your goals. Like whatever your goals were in session 1, let's bring them back up, guys. Whatever those goals were, year 1, some of you wanted to do 15 deals. Some of you wanted to do 100 deals. Some of you wanted to do 50 deals. Whatever it is. Let's talk about how to best do that. And
If it's 20 deals for many of you that was in the homework post yesterday,
Yeah.
and that means that every single quarter, how many deals do we need to be happening?
probably 4 deals, 20 deals to rise by 4 is 5 deals a quarter, right? But the way it's going to work is a little bit just such that at the first quarter, it's your startup quarter. The first 90 days, it's designed to set up your system, set up your website. Well, it's all set up for you already, but set it up, get your mailing out, get your mailing house started, send out those letters and get things going and get those letters out, get those offers out and get those first 5 deals on a contract.
Yeah.
Right. And potentially get the first 2, 3 of them sold already and potentially get the full ROI on your investment already in the first 90 days. Again, not everyone does that, but it's up to you.
That's what we're shooting for.
That's what we're shooting for.
Big sprint with you guys.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Cynthia. Yes, guys, I forgot. Guys, we have payment plans, of course. You can do a down payment and you can do the payments for the coaching program all the way up to 8 or even 10 months, stretching it out. So we do have payment plans. This is not an all-in for everything. You can definitely, most of our programs have payment plans. So some of them shorter, some of them longer, but our coaching program can be stretched out all the way, I believe, to 8 or 10 months. So go talk to our thing. Also, where there's a will, there's a way, very simply. Talk to the team. Talk to our team. We're going to evaluate. If it's not a fit, nobody's going to slam you into anything because we don't want in our program students that after a month or 2 get stuck and don't have any more funds or anything like that. Or
somebody with entrepreneurial ADD. We don't want those people. We want the people that are willing to be,
get in line and stay in line.
Be committed and become business athletes with us.
Exactly right. Yeah. We want you to be successful. So therefore, we're gonna win that conversation. We're gonna find the right program for you that fits your pocket and fits your ability to make this thing happen. Okay. So make sure you do that because again, is this about the money, guys? No. If it would be about the money, we would put a group coaching program up there that we meet once a week for a year that would cost us almost nothing and we would charge the same. Other people do that, guys. That's what other people do in the industry. If it would be, but it's not about the money. We already own, by the way, we own almost 1,000 apartment units. We have commercial properties. We have cash flow coming in left and right. We have 8-figure businesses outside of all of this. You know what? We're doing this because we're on a mission to put a dent in the universe, as I like to call it, and create 10,000 millionaires. Because 10,000 millionaires, just like when we talked to Tyson and Sarah, their kids are growing up completely different than they would have grown up otherwise. Their grandchildren will live in a completely different reality, and that's the same thing for you. If you are the one that breaks that, when you are the one that breaks that cycle of, if I may say so, potentially without knowing each other, mediocrity, financial mediocrity, and you break out and you become that successful person in your family that not just successful, but also has time and lives a full life, then this will shine through to generations for you. And that's what we want to affect. Right. So that's why we put the most comprehensive program. We have one-on-one coaches, group coaching, accountability partners, 6-week quick start, software training.
Precedented that no other coaching, in my opinion, program in the real estate space offers.
Yeah, all of these things together. And as a result, yes, coaching is a significant investment, but you also get 100 times more than you get in any other program out there.
It's a big lift for us as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very heavy lift. So that's it again. So let's go back to like the first session, the first thing we do the first quarter, it's all about getting you started and get you going and get those first deals under contract and get those deals sold. The second quarter is then about?
Really, it's about
scaling up.
Yeah, scaling up and bringing up your volume of offers, volumes of mailings, volumes of deals under contract. And at this point, more than likely, you're starting to bring in a VA, somebody that comes in and helps you. Yeah. Not have to be doing everything on your own.
Either there or in the third quarter, usually, because ideally the second quarter is about overwhelming you with deals. Who wants to be overwhelmed by deals, guys?
The point of that is to have the profits to then bring in the help. Yeah. You don't want to do that the other way around because otherwise, you're not really getting ahead. Yeah. The whole point is that the business starts cranking out enough cash flow and enough profits so that you can afford to bring help.
Exactly right. So you start the business, get those first deals, you get cash, you get cash flow, and then you reinvest it, getting the help. You do that in end of Q2 or Q3. And then basically Q3 is really the time for outsourcing, delegation, through and further expansion. And then lastly, in Q4, you work on the mastery system of your business. And the mastery is like, again, how to do things such that you can do 100 deals a year if you want to, with 3 or 4 hours a day work. Or like Aaron will share tomorrow, 50, 60 deals a year on 1 hour a day.
Yeah.
Who would like to do 50, 60 deals, make, let's say, $500,000 or more a year and do this in 1 hour a day? Anyone would like to know how to do that? Aaron Williams is your guy. I think he's going to be there tomorrow. He's going to be there tomorrow. He's going to share it. It's the funniest and nicest guy in the world. And he's going to show you how to do that. Again, those are all the things that you can do. And by the way, inside of our coaching, you get assigned a one-on-one coach, but you also have the ability to do what we call specialty coaching sessions. So if you need a specific skill that Aaron can teach you, but you're with Gary, let's say,
You
or
have
you're with
access to
Christina,
superpower.
or you're with Christina, or you're with Ellie, or you're with Michelle Brown. We have, by the way, we have almost 50-50 ratio female coaches to male coaches, guys. So if you're a lady
Yes.
and you want a female coach, or if you're
I'm so excited about
this is not a bro game here, guys.
Yeah.
We have almost 50-50 female coaches, male coaches. Our female students are rocking it. They're doing absolutely fantastic,
Incredible.
almost better than the guys because they follow instructions better, guys. You got to follow instructions, guys, right? And they're absolutely rocking it. So again, book that call. And this is the mastery. So with that said, we have one item left, and that is the homework for tomorrow. And the homework for tomorrow, we're going to give away a $500 airline gift card.
Yeah.
Right? For those. So what you got to do is, again, when we're ending this right now in about 30 seconds, we're going to go and the team is going to go into the Facebook group and drop the next homework. And the next homework is, it says like, schedule your calendar, your scaling calendar for the next 8 weeks. What we want you to do right now is not plan out the next year, plan out the next 8 weeks. What are you going to do about this business in the next 8 weeks? Enrolling in coaching would be one thing. Booking the call for coaching would be one thing. Getting started with those things. But we're in mid-March right now. That means April, May.
You will probably already have, some deals coming in. You're going to have definitely deals under contract. More than likely, you may have closed your very first deal, but let's say June. That means that by summer, you have money to go ahead and use the gift card for travel, to go on a wonderful vacation. And
Or
it's gonna
visit
be
one of the
coming-
pieces of land.
And it's going to be coming from your very first profits from land. And I wouldn't be, I would be so excited for you guys to be able to experience that. And maybe if we're conservative, in a year's time frame, you do 15 deals at $15,000 on average, that's going to put you at about $225,000. And if we fast forward and look into the future and look at year 2 and you did 50 deals, which more than likely, we see people that have 28 deals under contract just from their first set of mailings. So this is completely possible. But just to be conservative, let's just say 50 deals in that year 2. That's going to be $750,000 from $15,000 flips. And if we just continue doing that, only $15,000 flips, because your confidence doesn't grow.
Which of course is ridiculous.
Which of
Over
course
time,
is
you're going to do
ridiculous.
more and more and more deals like Jonna.
Yeah.
And when she started, she did probably $8,000 deals because her confidence wasn't there yet. Now she's doing $1.7 million deals. But if you just continue on with that,
If you just did 80, which Mike Smyer does 100 deals, but if you just did 80 at $15,000, that is $1.2 million. Yeah.
a year, guys, a year. You're making $1 million. You have been just shown a trajectory to have $1 million income. You know what? How many people make $1 million income in corporate? Nobody. Only the CEOs of larger companies, and they most get their money from stock options. Their normal salary is not even that much. And if that stock option goes down, they didn't even make $1 million. You have to be freaking CEO of Disney to make more money than that, right? We're talking about a trajectory that is in your full control, that can make you 6 figures, multiple 6 figures in year 1. And then as you become better and better and better at it, has a trajectory of $1 million a year. Not everyone's going to want to do this. Some people are happy with just making $50,000 a year. That's fine. That's up to you. What we're sharing with you is the potential so that you can see what is in front of you if you want it. Who wants it? If you want it, book a call at landcoaching.com. And with that said,
Thank you so much, guys. We will see
afternoon,
you
4 p.m. Pacific. 4 p.m. Pacific.
store behind closed doors Q&A. Any questions that you have regarding the content that we've covered so far, regarding our programs. Jack and I are going to be there. Of course, go ahead and if you want to be one of the very first 10, for the bonuses that we described earlier, go ahead and book a call at landcoaching.com. Or reach out on DM or on text to your land expert and jump on it, because all our 25 spots are going to sell. We are going to go ahead and turn around our entire company and our entire team to basically onboarding each and every one of you. And basically we're going all out on you guys that, that decide to come 100% committed to this. We're going all animal and making sure that we see you succeed.
Bob, it's not 4:30, it's 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
4 p.m. Pacific. If you show up at 4:30, you're late, right? And then yes, Cornelius, it's the same lane.
If you show up at 4, you're late.
That's
You
right.
need to show up early.
That's right. That's right. There's no such thing. Time doesn't exist. You're either early or you're late. That's right. So the same link, yes. And again, book the call. If you're a seasoned investor already, book the call. We can also accelerate you in the program if you're already seasoned. Right? There's ways that if you have done a ton of stuff already, or if you're already a land flipper doing a deal a month, but you can't get beyond that, you want to get to 10 deals a month, but you don't know how, we can accelerate you inside of the program. That's the beauty of having a custom and a boutique program. We don't treat everyone the same. We treat you guys with what you need to succeed. All right. With that said, see you this afternoon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.